Hey guys, it's Jenny with Roots and Wings Furniture, and we are on week 2 of Spacelift. I hope you are enjoying the series so far. This week we are talking about kitchens. So I'm coming to you live from my kitchen, and here we are. This is it. This is my kitchen. Okay, before we get started, I really want to talk to you about two things that I have on my heart this afternoon. And the first thing is, in this series, I hope that this does not cause you to envy other people's spaces. So when we put up pictures as inspiration, my heart is that you're not discontent with the space that you have. What I really want everyone to consider is to look at their space, to take the time to look at your space, to see if it's working the best for you, and then to find simple ways that you can change it. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't even have to be big changes. Sometimes it's just a little thing that can make you really love it. So I just really, I don't want to encourage anyone to be materialistic in this series. I just want you to love your space. And I think as women, we have a God-given gift or desire for our homes to be beautiful, because that's where life happens. That's where we live life, and that's where we spend the most time. So I think that is especially a woman thing. So I just hope you hear my heart on that, and hope that this is encouraging and never something that is, my kitchen or my space isn't cool. On that note, when Kristin and I were planning our spaces that we were going to work on, and kitchen was one we decided, I struggled with that a little bit, because I will tell you that I don't love my kitchen. And if I had $20,000 sitting around, I would totally take a sledgehammer to my cabinets right now. Like, we could just do it live. But I don't. And as I was thinking about that, I thought, I bet a lot of you don't love your kitchens too. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It is a nice space. It's big enough. I have appliances that work, and I have running water, and I am thankful for all of those things. But I think sometimes there's areas in your home where you can only do so much before you have to do some bigger things to it, and that might be where I'm at with my kitchen. So I'm going to tell you some of the things this week that I've done to make my kitchen as great as it can be for the time being, and someday I might totally redo it, but that might be 20 years from now. So we are living with contentedness in the space that I'm at. If anyone else is with me on that, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about your kitchen. So anyways, this is my kitchen. We are here, and we are going to start off with our questions we asked last week. I think each time you try to look at a space and design it in your mind, you think of what the concept for the space is. So the first question is, what do you want the room to feel like? And for a kitchen, for me, I want my kitchen to feel clean. So that's why I went with white cabinets. I did the contrast with the black countertops, and but a lot of my accessories, I try to keep only what I use like every other day-ish on my countertops. Like, that's it. That's how you quiet your space. Well, we'll get to that. I'm skipping ahead. Anyways, so first question, what do you want your room to feel like? Second question, what do you want people to feel like in your room? So what do you want people to feel like when they come into your kitchen? I'll be honest, I don't really want people hanging out in my kitchen. Our kitchen is the path, so the entryway. You come through the kitchen to get into the living room. When we have events and people over, they tend to always hang out in the kitchen. Maybe that's everywhere. And the way that our kitchen's set up, it's kind of a box, so people tend to be right here. And I don't love that. It's one of those things about your kitchen, you know? So I want my kitchen to feel clean and, yes, welcoming as part of my home, but not like too cozy. Like, I wouldn't set up my bar space or my coffee station, and I wouldn't do anything else inside my kitchen, if that makes sense. So that's my own answer. So, okay, so what do you want your room to feel like? What do you want people to feel like in your room? What is the mood of your space? So again, I said I want my space to feel really clean. I want it to flow from one room to the other because our kitchen is kind of open. I want my kitchen to be pretty casual and not very formal. I don't want people to feel like it's too stuffy or fancy because that's just not the feeling of my house overall. So that's my answer to that question. And then fourthly, how does your room need to function and how do you need to move in your space? Clearly, kitchens are a high-functioning room. Like, we need our kitchens to work really well for us. And I am hoping that Kristin has some great tips for us. I know she does on kitchens. And even when we take you shopping tomorrow, try and find you some great things that add to the function of your kitchen. And movement in your space. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Do you have space for an island? Do you not have one and you have space for it? Or do you have one and maybe you need to take it out if it's a removable thing, if it's not working well for your space? And then there's always the work triangle, which is something else we can talk about in movement. So it's between your cooktop and your sink and your fridge. So that should always be a triangular shape. And none of those sides of the triangle, so to speak, should be any more than 9 feet. So that's something to think about if you are either designing your kitchen or if you have any ability to move things around. That is something to consider your work triangle. So that's definitely important in a kitchen because we are here all the time, right? Okay, and then quieting our space. So those are the 4 questions we ask ourselves. And then the next step is to quiet your space. And again, for a kitchen, it's a little bit hard because you can't move things. Like, you can't move around your cabinets and your countertops. So it's a little different. But to that, I would recommend just taking everything off the counter, even things that you've looked at for a long time and many years. Maybe remove it. See if you really need it. See if you really use it on your countertop all the time. And if not, take it off. Because I think removing things can really make your space feel really clean and just give you more workspace, which is obviously really important, right? So that's the beginning step for the kitchen. Now, the 3 things we're going to talk about this week, things that you can change if you don't love your kitchen. Okay, first thing is your cabinet color. I put a link up this morning. All week, my cabinet tutorial video is 20% off using code Spacelift. And there is a link. You can go into the shop page right on Facebook here, or you can go to my website and you can find it in my shop. It's a tutorial video, all my tips and tricks for painting cabinets. I, of course, love to use General Finishes milk paint on cabinets, and they are a great option for cabinets. It gives you a really nice, smooth finish, a really professional look. So changing your cabinet color can be huge in how your space feels and how it looks. Because obviously cabinets are a big portion of your kitchen space. So something to think about. My cabinets are white, and then I chose to do the oil rub bronze hardware. So that's something else to think about. If you can't or don't want to do such a big thing as changing your cabinet color, you can definitely update your hardware. And if you are renting, or if you just want to start with a smaller change out your hardware and see what you think. Change it to something a little bit more modern than what you have, and you'll be surprised at how long a little change like that will go. D Lawless Hardware is my favorite place to shop for hardware. That's always the first place I'll go when I'm starting to look at things, and then there's lots of other sources of hardware. So think about your hardware in your cabinets and see if there's anything you can change that way. The second thing that you can change in your kitchen is your countertops. And you can remove countertops and get a whole different material, or you can paint them. And my countertops, I will tell you, we used the Rust-Oleum countertop paint, and then on top of that I used chalkboard paint. And they are black, they're a real matte finish, flat finish to them, and they have held up extremely well. I think I did it a little over a year ago, and I've only touched up one little place once, but there are no scratches. So that was huge. I will speak from experience, we only buy houses with crazy countertops. Our first house had pink countertops, which matched the pink and blue linoleum floor, by the way. And then this house, when we moved in, had bright blue countertops. we lived with it for a while. I tried to kind of decorate around it to make it not so obvious. But when I did paint my countertops, wow, it made a big difference. And it was a pretty quick project. It stinks to high heaven, so now would be, this time of year when you can open the windows would be awesome. But it was an inexpensive project, and it made a huge difference in the look of our kitchen. So think about that. The third thing you can consider changing in your kitchen, which also would go a long way, is your lighting. Now, this is something I haven't done yet, and I'm considering doing it this week as we work on our kitchens. I want to do a DIY light fixture for my kitchen, a big chandelier with barnwood. So I'm going to think about that. But you can always change your lighting, your light fixtures. Again, if you're renting, that would even be something you could take with you. You could save the old fixture and put it back up before you move. Even pendant lights. I have a pendant light here above my sink, and changing those out is really pretty easy, inexpensive, and it can make a big difference in your space. So those are 3 things to consider: cabinet color, countertop color, and lighting. And I think if you were able to change those 3 things, your kitchen could really look a lot different. So those are my 3 things I just want you to think about. This is kind of the overview video to start our week off. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want anything, any advice or anything that we can focus on as we talk about kitchens. But I'm just going to be sending out some inspiration on Facebook. We'll find some great pictures, and Kristin and I will take you shopping tomorrow and find some favorite things at Target to do with your kitchen. I don't even know how we're going to narrow down to 3 things, but it'll be fun tomorrow. So start looking at your kitchen, see what you're going to change this week, and we will see you guys tomorrow. So have a great afternoon, and I'll talk to you later.